Chapter 33. Safe. For a couple of months people left the family alone, which made both Tayayu and Naruto happy. Neither really wanted too many people coming around and bothering them. The only people that they didn't mind dropping by was Tsunade, Shizune and Iruka. They had told their daughters that the three were family as well, a uncle, aunt and grandmother. To Naruto's surprise, Tsunade and Tayayu had actually started to get along. He didn't know if after the pregnancy things would deteriorate even more between the two. Apparently, since they both agreed that Carrie was adorable, they had started to bond a little more. Sasuke had come by a couple of times to see Makoto, though he was still trying to persuade the Uzumakis to let him have her. Of course it wasn't working, since the three of them had already bonded and Naruto was happy having her as his daughter. Naruto's main worries resided with the council now. He didn't know if they were plotting anything. Tsunade assured him that they weren't. To Naruto, all that meant was that they were doing it when she wasn't around. It wouldn't be a surprise. She was a strong supporter of his, so if they were plotting against him or his family, they wouldn't do it around her. The blonde man let out a long sigh as he sat in his chair watching his daughters. Makoto was currently helping Carrie play with the blocks. Makoto would quickly stack them up, then Carrie would knock them over before laughing. It was amusing to Naruto for a while, but they had been at it for an hour, making it lose its luster for him. That was when the front door opened and his red-headed wife came in with the bags from the grocery store. Naruto looked at the girls, then got up and grabbed the bags from her to carry to the kitchen counter. When he set them down, he started to help unpack them as he sent a clone to go and watch the kids. How was the store, Tayayu-chan? The redhead in question just shrugged. Was the store so boring as hell? Naruto smiled at his wife as he grabbed some more groceries. Well, I offered to go, but you told me I was an idiot and would buy the wrong things. She smiled back at him. That's because you are an idiot, but you are my idiot, aren't you? He nodded his head, then she ran her hand through his small beard. He gave her a soft smile, then leaned in to kiss her until she put her finger on his lips. Who the hell said you get a kiss, shithead-kun? The man just looked at her, then pulled back. I thought that maybe you could suffer through one, but I guess not. Maybe another time. The blonde just put some more groceries away before looking at her, since she seemed to be staring at him. What's the matter, Tayayu-chan? She walked over to him, then grabbed hair on the back of his head to pull him down into a kiss. He didn't resist, then when they broke he smiled at her. Who said you get a kiss, Tayayu-chan? Said woman just smirked, then smacked him playfully on the cheek. I did. Got a problem with that? He shook his head no, then kissed her forehead. I have a council meeting later today. She looked at him, then sighed. I know, and I assume that once again I am not allowed to go. Naruto laughed, then nodded his head. You have to watch the kids, plus Ba-chan says that it is smarter if you don't come. The council doesn't care for you after that one outburst that you had. Tayayu rolled her eyes at that. Just can't let it go, can they? Her husband smiled, then shook his head as he remembered the incident. The council had just finished going over the civilian aspects of their meeting. Naruto hated how Tsunade had made it so the Uzumaki household was viewed as a reviving clan. It made it so that he was forced to come to these stupid things often. It always seemed like he was doing the same things here. He was defending Makoto to keep her in the Uzumaki clan, keeping the council from Carrie or dealing with them still questioning Tayuya's allegiance. Neither Naruto nor Tsunade saw how they could really question Tayayu. Since her defect to Konohagakure, she had been one of the best shinobi they had. Tsunade had even spoken to them about promoting them both to Tokubetsu Junin. Not only would it increase their pay but get the clan more respect, but somehow the council doubted her since she once was a Otogakure ninja. Naruto sighed as the council looked over at him. The first order of business for the ninja side of this meeting is the Uzumaki clan. The blonde clan leader rose his eyebrow at that. What about the Uzumaki clan? The elderly council member Homura looked over at him. Well, since Tsunade-sama put your clan on the reviving clans list, we see it fit that the Uzumaki clan go under the Clan Restoration Act. Naruto looked at him. What is that? I have never heard of that law. Tsunade looked at the council member with a glare, then over at Naruto. Well, it was a law put in place by the Nadaime after the wars to rebuild clans that suffered heavy losses. Basically, it made it so that people in the clan took more than one wife so that they could have more children. The blonde Jinchuriki sighed. No thank you, I don't need the headaches that would cause me. Plus, My wife's sex drive is damn near insatiable as it is. Think I need more women in my life. Homura looked at him. If she is an issue, there are ways around that. Naruto glared at them. Touch her and I will kill you. The man looked around then sighed. What if we asked Tayuya's opinion on the matter? If she agrees, would you give your consent? Naruto looked at him then shook his head. No, plus I don't think it's wise to even breath the idea of that to her. They shook their heads. Ridiculous, she is a Konohagakure kunoichi, so she will understand. Naruto shook his head. I highly doubt it. If you want to be the one who tells her about it, then go right ahead. I still won't agree though. Homura leaned over to Koharu, then they whispered to each other for a couple moments then nodded. Anbu, please fetch Tayuya Uzumaki. An Anbu member shunshined from the corner to retrieve her. Then about a minute later Tayuya and the kids were there. Carrie stayed in Tayuya's arms, but Carrie ran over to her dad, Tou-san. He smiled as she jumped up into his arms. Hello Makoto, have you been helping Ka-san with Carrie? She nodded her head. Then Koharu cleared her throat. Back to the matter at hand. Tayuya Uzumaki, we have called you here to try and ensure the survival of the Uzumaki clan. Tayuya rose her eyebrow. Then Homura spoke up. We want your husband to enter the Uzumaki clan in the Clan Restoration Act, but he is refusing to join. We were hoping that you may be able to convince him to undergo it. She looked over at her blonde husband. Naruto-kun, what is this Clan Restoration Act? Naruto sighed. Means they want me to have more wives. Tayuya Haim. There was a loud growling sound, so Naruto made a shadow clone. The clone looked at Naruto. Please get Carrie before Tayuya Haim explodes. The clone nodded then flashed to her and took their infant daughter from her as she glared at the elderly council members. Naruto sat there with Makoto. Now sweetie, all the words your mommy is about to say you are not allowed to repeat, understood? Makoto nodded her head. Just before Tayuya explodes, you old ass motherfucking shits. What the fuck are you thinking, trying to get some whores into bed with my husband? I swear to fucking Kami, if I wouldn't be brought up on stupid ass treason charges, I would gut you all. They looked at her with wide eyes as she huffed then walked over to Naruto. Fuck this, I am finished here. Give me the girl and be prepared tonight. I will need my relaxation methods. He gave a small nod then kissed his daughters on the forehead before Tayuya shunshined them home. Naruto smiled as she left then looked over at the council members. So, I don't think she is on board with this. What do you all think? They all glared at him. That woman is not allowed in this meeting room again. Naruto rose his eyebrow. She is as much a representative of the Uzumaki clan as I am. Plus let's not forget that you are the ones who summoned her here after I warned you. Koharu then spoke up. Fine, we respectfully ask that the Uzumaki clan refrain from Tayuya Uzumaki being in our meetings. He shrugged. She doesn't like you all anyways, so it's fine. Naruto just continued to smile at his wife then kissed her forehead. It's okay Tayuya-chan, they have laid off of most of our problems with them. They are starting to get that I am not willing to bend to their will if I am not comfortable with it. Tayuya nodded her head as she walked out to watch after the girls. Then Naruto was off to the council chambers. When he arrived he noticed he was the last one, just as he usually was. He would show up just before he would be late to annoy the council members. Naruto took his seat then zoned out as the civilian council members did their bitching. When they left Naruto started to pay attention. Our first order of business this week is the Akatsuki. Though Naruto Uzumaki made quite an impact on them with his last reckless assault, they are still a threat. We have heard through what remains of Jiraiya-sama's spy network that they are on the move again. What members are left? Naruto. Naruto looked at them. Well, I have dealt with Itachi, Konan, Deidara, Kisame and Zetsu. As for who is left, they could have recruited more, but there is the leader Pain, Sasori of the Red Sand, Hidan and Kakuzu. There is also the fact that people may have been recruited or Orochimaru could have rejoined them. I do find that Orochimaru rejoining them is a bit unlikely though, seeing as he mainly only joined to ambush Itachi for his Sharingan. The council members nodded. What are you planning to do about it, Naruto? He rose his eyebrow. What do I plan to do about it? Well, I promised my wife I wouldn't hunt them, so I will wait for them to come to me. Homura spoke in a bit of an angry tone. You would risk the village and wait for them to come for you. He looked at them. I promised my wife and I am definitely more scared of her than you. I will wait for them to come for me, but do not worry about them being in the village, I will meet them outside of it. They seemed to be satisfied with that answer for the time being. They turned to other interests in the village. They spoke about changing the academy syllabus, which was something that Naruto had suggested. The clan heads were pushing for it, but the council was blocking them, saying it would look like Konohagakure was asking for war. Naruto didn't agree. He had only suggested that they teach more basic things in the academy like tree and water walking. There was no reason to make them wait to be genin for that, and Kami forbid if they have a sensei like his who waits for there to be a serious need to teach it. It appeared that it would be pushed back another week for an official decision. Naruto had already decided that if his girls decide to be kunoichi, he would teach them while they were in the academy regardless. He would not let his children be hindered because of these old fools. Next topic was the Uchiha clan, which caught Naruto's interest. It hadn't been discussed in a while since they had shifted their focus from Sasuke to Makoto. Since Sasuke was not interested in women, they had tried to think of ways to advance the Uchiha clan. The news of Itachi Uchiha having a bastard brought new hope for them. The only problem was that they had 2 Uzumakis and the Hokage barring them from her. Kaharu looked over at Naruto. Have you and Tayayu discussed our offer? Naruto nodded. Answer is still no. Makoto is an Uzumaki and she will pick her own suitor with time. That is our final answer and the last that I want to hear about it. They shook their heads, then moved on to the next topic, which was trying to strengthen their bond with Tsunagakure. The council members looked around. Any suggestions from the clan heads? Naruto nodded his head. I think that a political marriage would work well. Shikamaru, Nara and Temari would suffice well for it. The council members looked over at Shikaku as he looked at Naruto. Naruto looked back at him with a bored look. What? We both know that they are in a relationship, but don't go public because of these people becoming an issue. This solves all the problems in one sweep. Shikaku just continued to look at him, then sighed. Agreed. The council nodded their heads. Approved. Now on to our last piece of business, which is with the Uzumaki clan. Naruto let out a long sigh, then sat up straight. What now? They looked at him. Your daughter and wife. He just stared, then his eyes turned crimson. Choose your next words carefully. They looked at one another. We have heard rumors that Tayayu Uzumaki is spying for Orochimaru and that she plans to flee with Kari Uzumaki. Naruto stared at them. Ridiculous. They looked at him. Is it so ridiculous for Orochimaru to send one of his agents to marry our Jinchuriki, someone who has shown promise to become our Hokage? The fact that she has bore you a child just means that she has gotten in close with you. The probability is there. Naruto looked over at Tsunade. Are you just going to sit there and let them spout this shit? Tsunade sighed. I don't agree with him, but unfortunately I cannot restrict them from speaking since they are under the impression it's for the village. The blonde just stared at her, then looked at the council. Fuck you all and your council meetings. The Uzumaki clan will not attend one again since it's obvious that this council does not respect their clans. You all better beg for my forgiveness the next time that I see you. Naruto headed towards the door when Homura spoke up. You best hope we don't come take them by force. He spun around quickly. What was that, you old bastard? His ki spiked as he leaked more of his Kyuubi chakra and started to walk towards Homura until his shoulder was grabbed. He was about to gut whoever would touch him at this point in time until he saw her red hair. Naruto-kun, that is enough. No matter what they said, they are not worth your effort. Naruto looked at her. They said you're a traitor, that they are going to come and take you and Kari from me. She gave a soft smile to her husband. They are old, maybe they have become senile in their old age. I think it is time that Tsunade-sama replaces them since they do not respect the clan heads. Tayayu looked over at Tsunade. Do you think that I am a traitor? She shook her head. No. If you are, then you would be terrible at it. All you're good at is causing Naruto headaches. The redhead rolled her eyes at the comment. Whatever, I am going to take him home before he decides to kill them anyways. Come along, Naruto-kun. She went to pull on his hand, but he pulled it back. No, Tayayu-chan. They deserve to die for what they said. Tayayu sighed. I am not saying that they don't, but killing them would be treason. You think I don't want to kill them for that CRA bullshit all that time ago? Naruto glared at them, then replied slowly, fine. But you owe me for this one, Tayayu-chan. The red-headed Uzumaki matriarch nodded her head at him. Let's go home and feed the girls, okay? He nodded his head then leaned down